Salvete omnes. Before we start, I'd like to give a shout out to my patrons. I really appreciate your support. Thanks so much. Several studies have shown that attempting to guess the meaning of words, even when you have no clue, can help you acquire these words more strongly than if you didn't try to guess beforehand. So in this lesson, I'll read through the dialogue once before explaining each sentence, and you should try and guess what the two people are saying. And a hint for one of the words is that this dialogue takes place in the morning. Let's go! Salve, Banamane, loquorisne latine, tarde laquere quaeso, potesne latine laqui, polulum laquor, bene latine laquoris. Gratias. The hint that this takes place in the morning might have allowed you to guess that Banamane means good morning. And did you guess that loquorisne latine means do you speak Latin? This is the root of words like loquacious and colloquial and soliloquy. But this word meaning to speak and to talk in Latin is really strange. The infinitive is loqui, and the first person conjugation is loquor, as you can see in the following table. So now can you guess what tarde laquere quaeso means? Tarde sounds a lot like tardy, right? This means speak slowly, please. Remember, quaeso literally means I beg or I seek, but is the way to say please in Latin. If you know that the Spanish for cheese is queso, it might help you to think, cheese please, queso, quaeso. Now, from the last dialogue, we know that tarde is what type of word? An adverb. So the adjective form would be tarda, tardus, and tardum. And this can also mean late, just like the word tardy. So say now, you are late. Tarda es, if you're talking to a female, and tardus es, if you're talking to a male. And instead of just repeating her question verbatim, Alba asks this time, potesne latine laqui? Meaning, can you speak Latin? Remember, when we use potes, the other verb remains in its infinitive form, which for speak is this weird form laqui. Then we have polulum laquor. So this means I speak something. Polulus is the diminutive form of Paulus. Diminutives make things seem smaller or cuter. One such suffix in English is adding a Y sound. For example, John to Johnny and dog to doggy. So since Paulus means little or small, Paululus means really little. There isn't a direct equivalent to this word Paulus in English, but it looks somewhat like paucity, which means scarcity. This is a very common way to say just a little. So polulum laquor means I speak just a little. Can you think of how to say give me just a little? Da mihi polulum. Let's use this word for speak a little more. Quotidie cum matre laquor. I speak with my mother every day. We saw this word quotidie in a slightly different form in Paternoster, and it is like saying daily quota. And notice, mater changes to matre in the ablative form. Remember, cum always triggers the ablative. But look at the next sentence. Te cum loquor. I'm talking to you. Do you see? This first word is the words cum and te, combined into one word. But there's no consensus among scholars as to why the order was reversed. And there are other similar combinations like nobiscum and mecum. These are good words to learn because they tell you the ablative form of these pronouns. Now, some helpful words to know along with the verb loqui are the names of languages. Can you guess what this sentence means? Bene Hispanicae loquores. You speak Spanish well. Do you recognize the form of this word, Hispanicae? It's the vocative form. The vocative form is the same as the nominative form for all but words that end in us. But Hispanicus is an adjective. This icus suffix is the same as the ic suffix in English, and changes Hispania, or Spain and Portugal, into the word Spanish. So to name the language someone speaks, we change the country name into an adjective and decline it in vocative form. It seems complicated, but it also helps us tell the difference between the two uses of the word Spanish, as in Spanish food and I speak Spanish. So that means that Latine is the vocative form of Latinus. The next language is easy. Germanicae cum patre loquitur. He or she speaks German with his or her father. Now you can see that Latin is to blame for why we say German instead of something closer to Deutsch. The next one might be a little harder. Polulum Gallicae loquor. I speak a little French. During the time of the Roman Empire, the region encompassing France and Belgium and a few other countries was known as Gaul. And try to guess now how to say, I speak English. And remember, during the time of Classical Latin, the English were known as the Angles. Anglicae loquor. And try to guess this final language name. Sinicae legere potest. He or she can read Chinese. You may have seen Sino-American relations or Sino-Tibetan languages referring to China. Okay, now that we've learned all the words from the dialogue, let's go through it one more time. Salve, bonamane, loquorisne latine, tarde loquere quaeso, potesne latine loqui, polulum loquor, bene latine loquoris. Gratias. Okay, that's all for this dialogue. Wale. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and if you can, help support the channel on Patreon, where there are audio downloads and transcripts of each dialogue and story. Gratias.